Good evening. Welcome Shimi, welcome Agash, and welcome FR. Welcome to the 100 Days High Performance Entrepreneurship Series. We are on the day 32. Dream big, aim high, start small. Start very small so that you can master it, you can build a discipline around it, and you can focus very easily. Believe me, when you do these three things, you're going to do miracles, you're going to make miracles, and you're going to be a high performance entrepreneur. Dear friends, I'm very happy today. I have my junior from college who is in her third year, and she has run her own startup a year back. So I'm very happy to conduct today's event. The main aim and the main reason we started this is to reach startups and empower them. I could see a reflection in all my juniors now who are doing startups in the college. So, as you all know, I went to my engineering college to do business. And I'm very happy to see one of my juniors after 20 years. So I can see the reflection back. And welcome all the panelists. And welcome Neha, welcome Shoaib, welcome Anton, welcome Rakesh, welcome Alicia, welcome Rakesh, and welcome Raghu, and welcome Sangeeta. So now I have a wonderful person to take this meeting forward. She's an award-winning author and again an engineer. So I would like to call Shabina Zaidi to the stage. Shabina, the stage is yours.
Thank you, Kabir. Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Kabir, for introducing me. And I think this is an amazing evening with all those who are in engineering background, entrepreneurs. We have an amalgamation of panelists. So it's great to see you all. I hope you are all doing good. And something that matters today is it's evening, it's Thursday evening, and you are all with us. We have so many people with us, listening to us, are there with us, and it proves that you are so committed to growth. So, here, when we speak about growth, when we speak about productivity, we have wonderful people who are going to discuss more about it. So, as Kabir said, that we have here Sindhu, who is actually a third year engineering student, and she is his junior. She is studying in Cochin University of Science and Technology, and you would be amazed to learn that she is actually a student. She belongs to Gen Z, and since I always speak about millennials, so it's good to know that Gen Z is far ahead of millennials. She belongs to Gen Z, and something that amazes me is that she is a founder of Upthrift, that is an e-commerce platform which is used to sell and buy used good. That is a commendable job, Sindhu. How are you doing, Sindhu?
Hello everyone. So yeah, thank you for that introduction. Uh, so today I would start with whatever I'm supposed to be telling. So about time management and productivity. So as we all know, there's this one thing that's common with everybody on Earth, no matter their ethnicity, their gender. There's something that is common with everyone, and that's the amount of time that everybody is allotted. So the difference between a normal person and a high performing person is that the high performing person would be knowing how to manage their time, right? So if we know how to manage our time, if we have control over the time we spend, and we know where we spend time and how we are going to spend time, that's what's going to make us a high performing individual. Okay, so now I would like to share a small instance from my side. So when I was in my 12th grade, I was preparing for my entrance examinations, and I used to wake up in the morning and set tasks for the day. I used to be like, I had to complete 2 chapters or 3 chapters in a day. For the JE examinations, for people who might not know, in India, to get into a really good engineering college like the IITs or triple ITs, you need to clear an examination known as the JEE examination. So I was one of the many people preparing for that examination, and I used to do my part. I used to wake up in the morning, set goals and stuff. But often what happened is that at the end of the day I did not complete this, and this would bring down my confidence so bad. And I reached this point where I was completely burned out. I stopped trying, and with whatever knowledge that I had gained, I got into a decent engineering college, a really good engineering college. And after getting into COSAT, I was determined to make the best out of whatever I had. So that's when I started reading a lot of books and going through a lot of videos on YouTube, and actually learning how to manage time and how to be productive. So from whatever that I know, that I would like to share, that the first thing that we should be knowing, we should be understanding, is our sleep schedule. Why I stress on sleep schedule is that once you know how much time, what the ideal time for you is for sleep, then you can use the rest of the day for your works. Having a good night's sleep can help your cognitive functioning, your emotional well-being, your physical health, and also your overall energy and stuff like that. This can, knowing how much time you want to sleep and allotting the time in your daily schedules for sleeping is really important, and this can help you in all of the things that I mentioned, your cognitive abilities, your immunity functions, and so on. So the first thing would be to know your sleep schedule, align your sleep schedule with the circadian rhythm. So if there's anybody who does not know what the circadian rhythm is, it's like this natural internal process that happens inside of you. So it's basically aligned with the nature as well. So the light and all influences this rhythm. It resets every 24 hours, and once we are aligned with this circadian rhythm, it becomes really easy for us to manage our sleep schedule. So once we've found out the ideal amount of sleep that we need every day, we might be getting an idea of how much time we actually have to complete our goals, right? So the next thing would be, every day before you go to sleep, you write down all the tasks, whatever the task may be. It might be a really small task like doing your laundry, or it could be a really big task like you have to have some sort of a meeting, you have to manage stuff in your company or so on. So you write down all the tasks that you have to be doing the next day, and then you peacefully sleep. You wake up the next morning, and next morning what you will be doing is prioritizing. So that's the next point that I wanted to discuss. Prioritization actually helps you a lot. So you might be asking, okay, prioritization, it's good. You can hear about prioritization. But how exactly would you prioritize? Is there any sort of formula that can use that you can use to prioritize? So there's this book by Stephen Covey, and the name of the book is The 7 Habits of Effective People, Highly Effective People. Is there anybody who has read the book before? Can I get a reaction from the people in the speakers or the listeners? Yeah, it's a really awesome book. Okay, so in that book, he's mentioning about this formula. So basically, you can divide all the whatever work, whatever goals that you've set, or whatever tasks that you have written down the previous day. You can divide all of these into 4 categories. So the 4 categories would be the ones that are of high urgency and most importance. That would be very necessary. Those are the tasks that are necessary. The next set of tasks would be the tasks that are not so important but are, are not, um, yeah, they are not important but they are urgent. Okay, so that is the second category. The third category would be the tasks which are not urgent but are important. Okay, now the fourth category would be tasks which are not urgent and not important as well. So you divide all these tasks into these four categories, and once you have divided these, it becomes very easy for you to prioritize which task you have to do first. Okay, and make sure that you complete at least, you pick the most three important tasks that you have to do, and by hook or by crook you try to complete the task on that day. This can help you gain a little bit of confidence. You can be like, okay, so I've completed this much. Yeah, it's good, I've been productive the whole day. And the happiness you get, the sense of satisfaction you get by being productive is something that helps you be more disciplined and more motivated to complete your goals. So this was about prioritization. Now, sometimes, like I mentioned about motivation, what happens is that sometimes we have prioritized our task, we have done everything that I've mentioned, but we are not in that position. We don't have the motivation to get going, we don't have the motivation to start. There's something that's blocking us. So situations like that, what you would want to do is that you find a particular schedule for yourself and you get yourself disciplined. So this is something that helped me, because sometimes it's not motivation comes in waves. Sometimes I'm motivated, sometimes I'm not motivated. Sometimes for continuously for 3 days I don't feel like doing work. Sometimes maybe 2 days I do a lot of work. Okay, so to build consistency, to make yourself do work no matter whether you have the motivation to do it or not, the thing that helps me is I create this kind of schedule. I get myself disciplined, I become the parent of myself, I take accountability for my actions, and I get myself disciplined. So being disciplined can help us be motivated. Not motivated, can help us get the work done even when you're not motivated. So that was the next point that I wanted to convey to you guys. So that was about the work, doing work, get work when you're not motivated. So sometimes, many a times, what happens is that you have allotted time for you. You've allotted, let's say, 2 hours or 3 hours to do this work, but you can't get it done. Maybe you procrastinate, or maybe there's something that doesn't align with your goals. Okay, so then there's this method known as Feynman technique. Okay, so what exactly happens in this Feynman technique is that, okay, so I have this big goal. Okay, I need to complete a particular project in a month. Okay, so what I would do, like, okay, not I, a normal person, what a normal person would do is that he would say, okay, I have a month time, let's wait till the end of the month, I still have time. Like, with the time that I have now, I'll do something else, and they will procrastinate, and the day before the submission of the project is when we'll actually start working. That's what I've been doing my whole life, and it works. This might work for some people, might not. It used to work for me, but I knew that this was not the right way that it has to be done. So in my research, I found out this method, and this method tells us that once we divide the work into smaller chunks and we assign particular goals. Okay, see, let's say the project is about some object oriented programming or something like that, and then I'll find out what all other things that I have to include with my project. So it can be polymorphism, then classes and objects. I'll be explaining all these things. So I'll say, okay, today I'll research about polymorphism, and I'll keep the work, stored in a Google Doc or somewhere. So what exactly I'm doing is that I'm splitting the work into chunks and I'm assigning them to a particular time period. So basically, I'll split the 3 months into maybe weeks or maybe days, okay, depending on however you want. It's all about finding what works for you, what gets you going. It requires a lot of trial and error. You might, sometimes you might get demotivated, but be kind to yourself. Learn to accept whatever you're doing. Nobody's perfect, so you give yourself time and find the correct thing that works for you, and you get that done. So the Feynman technique was about splitting a goal into smaller chunks and assigning the time also, dividing the time period also into smaller chunks, so that you get that small chunk of work done in that small amount of time. And in the end, you will be able to effectively complete the task before the deadline. So those were all the points that I had to share. uh, is that was
Wow, Sindhu, I think that was remarkable, which we've just heard from you about time management, about setting up goals, about scheduling our tasks. And something that is more important to notice over here is even stress arises due to mismanagement of time. So I've realized that there are so many people who are juggling with a lot many tasks, and they realize that everything boils down to time management actually. So we have our panelist with us. We have Jasir Alavi. I welcome you, Jasir. We have Sakshi Huvelia. We have Detris James with us. These are our panelists. I'm going to introduce them. We have so many people listening to us. If you would want to ask some questions, you can come up and raise your hands. So we'll take you in the audio room. You can just raise your hands, so we'll know that you want to interact with the speaker. Yes, we have Sakshi. Sakshi, you, when I was looking at your LinkedIn profile, I got to know that you are actually managing a lot many things. As entrepreneurs, we multitask. Entrepreneurs are known to multitask, although multitasking is a myth. But Sakshi, let me tell you that Sakshi is actually the president of Uran Skills Academy. She is a business consultant at BrandsJet, and she assists brands to generate revenue. So, Sakshi, how do you manage time? It is, I would want to know the secret. What's your secret? Do you have created that 25th hour? Sakshi, we would like to know from you.
Thanks, Shabina. Thank you so much, first of all. And yeah, absolutely. I was like 1 year back. I used to really figure it out, like how should I manage my time, because it's gonna be a lot of things on my plate, and it becomes very stressful and anxiety, create me very anxiety, or it leads to burnout sometimes. So what Sindhu was discussing about, that is the time management matrix, that I'll just add one point to it, which is known as the 4 Ds of time management. So the 4 Ds of time management is: first, delegate, defer, do, and delete. So basically, you have to like basically, obviously, you have to set your priorities right. But after that, it is very important that you categorize your task into 4 things. That is, the tasks which are very important, which are very urgent, just do it. Don't even give time to think about it, that whether I should do it or not do it. Just without a thought, do it. Defer the tasks which are not important at the particular moment, which can take some time and you can do it later. So defer that task, delay that task for the other day, and that way you can set your priorities. Also, you can delegate the work you think that it's not necessary. For example, Kabir delegate the task to us, to the volunteers. So obviously, the way he manages everything is very perfect and balanced, because he knows how to delegate, what to delegate. So he knows that if somebody is expert in some other work, he delegates the work. So you can delegate the work, you can reassign that particular task to somebody else. And in the last, and if you think that there are certain unnecessary tasks in your to-do list, in your schedule, that are not even necessary, just delete them, drop them, and move on. So I guess, Shabina, this was my, mantra, how I actually, manage time, because it's said that if you chase two rabbits at the same time, you will lose the both.
Wow, Sakshi, I think that was wonderful to hear from you, who's an entrepreneur and managing so many tasks. That is really, really lovely. So, I got a quote from Thomas Edison, and that says, time management is really the only capital that any human being has, and the only thing he can't afford to lose. But guys, we lose a lot of time like this. So I can see Semi, Alicia, Siraj, Neha, Kumar, Rikesh, FR, Muhammad, Salman. I would like to know your thoughts about time management. Please raise up your hand so that we can include you in the we have Amin with us, we have Detris with us, we have Jasir with us, and we have Detris. So yes, Detris is joining us from US, and she is a senior project manager. So Detris, what are your views about time management, in particular to the distraction and focus? Because I know these days we have so many distractions around, even your phone which you just cannot, I think I cannot live without my phone, nobody can live without their phone. So it becomes very difficult to manage our time, even if we delegate tasks, even if we delete some things which are unimportant. So how do you manage time with respect to focus, Detrius?
Yes, yes. Hello, thank you. So I loved everything that was said by Sinyu and everything that she discussed on making, prioritizing, and forming good habits to complete your tasks. But for me, I had to really look at prioritizing in a different way. I started looking at it as a form of self love, just to try to stay motivated and realize what matters most to me. So that helps me prioritize. And so looking at it as a form of self love, prioritizing is a form of self love, and it means choosing what and what not to focus on. And we multitask a lot, but and there are distractions. So in terms of focusing on priorities, that just concentrate on limiting wasting time on activities that don't align with my goals. So really on this journey to avoid distractions and interruptions as much as possible. So when distractions come up, I put them off until later. You can choose to be intentional and try to be as intentional and consistent as much as possible and focusing on what matters. That helps get some of the actualization complete. And it's good. I take breaks, but I tend to procrastinate, and I pick that up. And so I'm doing more reading and focusing, because prioritizing and getting, the more you manage your time, put it that way, the more you manage your time, the more you'll see yourself progressing rather than procrastinating. So it is about time management, which I'm so thankful for this session and all the information. But yes, and I do take breaks and small steps, as Khabib always says. Dream big and high, aim high, but take small steps. So, and be easy on yourself. So that is some reflection for me in terms of focus.
Thank you, Detris. I think that was quite informative to know where our hours, minutes, and seconds are going. It is so important to take a track of time, because time will eventually run away and we have to take a hold of it. So it's quite important to make a checklist, calendars, and prioritize our tasks. As Sindhu also suggested, that we should know which task is important, because when we when we speak about this book, Eat That Frog, first thing in the morning, so we realize that yes, it is the most important task that we should be completing. I welcome you, Rakesh Jain, over here. We will come back to you soon. We are going. So if you have any inputs or questions, keep them ready, and we will come back to you. So we have a question for Sindhu, who is an entrepreneur. So yes, Sindhu, as an entrepreneur, you must have come across this situation that as an entrepreneur, people wear many hats and they have to multitask. They are handling so many tasks at the same time. So you must have planned some strategies that contributes to your business growth, that contributes to taking out that 25th hour, managing that time. What are those strategies which you must have followed and which we can learn from you? Because I know your generation is running at a faster pace. They have a lot to teach us. So over to you, Sindhu. What are your strategies that you followed in terms of time management?
So, in terms of time management, I'd say first thing is to decide what exactly is to be done and make a small list, not a small list, like a detailed list of all the tasks that have to be done and the time that has to be allotted to it. And then you find the right people to do it. Okay. It's not that sometimes you can't do everything on your own. You'll have to accept that even though you might be a perfectionist, you want everything to be perfect, you want yourself to do it, you kind of don't trust other people to do it for you. But the thing is, you can't do it on your own. You need people to help you. And the success of, I think, my entrepreneurial journey has been only would have been successful if I had found out the correct people to do it for me. So the thing is, we find people who can do the work for us, who are passionate, just as passionate as us, and then you make this small team. You motivate all the team members, and then you divide the work among themselves and give them deadlines just so that they don't slack off, and make sure that you also don't slack off as well. And then you check upon those people regularly, and you see that they get the work done. And you see that once a team works on it collaboratively, the work becomes so much easier to do it. And that is how we can be more productive as a team. So I think the team management and working as a team, the team spirit is actually what drives tasks like these.
Absolutely, Sindhu, and I second with you on this, that it is so important to prioritize our task and to work with the team to delegate the task. Because if you delegate task, this is how you are going to make time. So delegation is actually making time. You know, uh, we deal with decisions, and we deal with the uh, we are being indecisive sometimes about time managing, that we should do it or we should delegate it, we should dump it, or if there is a deadline and we should dissect the task. So it becomes very important to achieve the final goal if we are actually managing our time productively. And productivity and time management actually go hand in hand. So we'll discuss more about time management, but I think this is such an important topic, and I can see so many experienced people. We have entrepreneurs, we have so many experienced people over here. They are not raising up their hands. So don't you have any questions, or don't you have your own inputs? I'm sure you must be managing your time very effectively. We can see Alicia, Semi, Siraj, Kumar, FR. I can see your full name, Salman, Rajesh, and Ebin too. You have any inputs for us? Because I feel that we learn from each other, and 5 minutes of managing time consistently leads up to many more minutes if we calculate. So we are engineers, and we have Chaitanya also here. Siraj has raised up his hand. So we'll bring you, Siraj, to the audio room, and just be there. We'll come to you. So we have Sindhu as our speaker, who is speaking about managing and prioritizing tasks, and she has been an entrepreneur, and she has been a student. So I'm sure she must have very effectively managed her role as an entrepreneur, as a student. She has read books about time management, and I came to know about time management very late in my life, because I was thinking that. Anyways, I'm doing this task, I'm busy, but it's so important to know that if you are really being busy or the task is of actual importance. So the way Sindhu said that we need to divide our task in a way that it is important or it is urgent or it is not so important or it can be done later. I think that was a wonderful talk that Sindhu did. So Sindhu, as a student or as an entrepreneur, as a normal person, as Sindhu, we would like to know that people actually juggle with prioritizing tasks, that they actually don't know whether this task is going to be important or this task is going to be urgent. So how have you managed in prioritizing your task, your day instead? How have you managed your prioritizing your day? I know you've spoken about it, but if we can delve more into it and we can discuss more about this.
Okay, so about prioritization, the first thing would be to, know the task. If you don't know the task, what are you trying to do if you don't know what you're trying to do? So maybe figure out what exactly is that you want to do, and then know all the details of it. So it could be something very simple. Maybe it could be something like you need to get your laundry done. Okay, it is important, but it's not that urgent. Okay, you can get the laundry done today, tomorrow. It's still gonna stay there, but you have to get it done, right? So if it's like that sort of a if task, I'd be like, okay, it's important, I need to do it, I know that I need to do it, but it's not that urgent. I can procrastinate on it, I can give myself time to do it. So know what exactly the task is. Sometimes it could be something like, okay, let's say I need to release a certain post or something about my company, that my company is hiring people or hiring interns or something like that. So I know that I need to delegate with people the details of the event. So the first thing that I would be doing is listing out all the tasks. Then I would be prioritizing which are the ones that has to be done first. So the first would be knowing what to put on your poster, knowing what exactly is the role, and first you would ask people to do it, and then you'll find the designer, you'll find the content person, and then you'll introduce both of them to themselves, and then you'll tell them what the task is, and then you tell them what exactly you expect from them, give them a particular time, and delegate that task well. So according it's like the knowledge of what exactly the task is, what exactly is it that you want to achieve, will help you to prioritize your task, to exactly know which category it falls under, to know how exactly you want to delegate it. So knowing the task well. Okay, sometimes we have a very vague idea of what we want to do. Okay, it could be something like I want to assemble a particular table or something like that. I'm being quite general here. I've bought like this table or something, and I need to assemble it. As a maybe a computer science engineer, I might not be having the expertise to do it. I'm like quite new at it, and because I'm new at it, I might procrastinate on it because I don't know much about the task. Let's say I want to do a particular computer program, then I might be knowing the what exactly is it that I want to do, and because I know what exactly I want to do, it would make it easier for me to complete the task. So knowing what exactly needs to be done, the inner steps and all, the actual workflow of how the task needs to be done, would help us a lot in prioritizing, and would help us in not procrastinating on a particular task. That was my inputs.
Thank you, Sindhu, for your inputs. And we now know that you have a great planning system and you are actually using it very effectively because you are setting your realistic goals, you are scheduling your activities, and that's what we all need to do. So we have with us Siraj. We have with us FR. The I cannot see your name, but first of all, Rakesh Jain. He's joined us. So Rakesh Jain, would you like to contribute to the session, or do you have any question with the speaker? Over to you, Rakesh.
Hello, hello. Are
Yes, Rakesh, you are audible. Welcome. Yes.
hello?
Yes, Rakesh. Do you have a question or you want to give your input to the
I'm
session? Since we are managing.
I want to share something. What my perception is there. My perception is very simple. Asking time community. Now,
Hi Rakesh, your voice is breaking.
how I
Rakesh, we're not
but
able to understand. I think your voice is breaking.
hello.
You're not completely audible.
Is
Can
it
we
is it
move on?
clear? Is it clear? Hello, hello.
Yes, yes, now it's clear.
Okay, okay. Now my perception is very clear. I always see time is a commodity. Normally, whatever the commodities are there, surrounded commodity, we know the how to use that, where to put that, how to invest that. But when the subject coming like a time is an invisible commodity. Then, if it is a precious commodity, what we have to understand, but we don't evaluate the time is a really precious commodity, how to utilize that planning, designing, thinking, proactive plan, we don't have that. And if we don't have the plan, we don't have the clear vision about our mission, then it is very difficult to manage the time. That's why I always think the time itself is a wonderful commodity, and how it is a very precious commodity. And out of this time, I may get the money, I may get the image, I may get the name, I may create the brand, or I may get the fame. But what is your attraction? In that direction, you have to bifurcate what is your objective, because there is a tangible and intangible objectives, and there is also development and growth of that objective. And if it is very much clear, then definitely you can manage your time better.
Absolutely.
Hello.
Yes, Rakesh. I think we so much value your inputs. Thank you for your inputs. Now we have FR, the profit generator. I cannot see your name, but over to you, business coach and consultant.
Yeah, Shabina. Actually, my name is Faisal Rahman, and I would be knowing as FR. Okay. By the way, the title what we're discussing is very interesting, and couple of things which maybe I can add, but don't think that I am the one who is simply following it, or a not a walk the talk person in terms of time. I'm not very organized, to be very frank, but I know a couple of things which might help the audience over here. One thing is that which I practice in my life, yes, which I practice or try to practice is every Sunday I sit and I know that there is 168 hours for the next Monday to Sunday. That is what the time I have given by the God. So out of these 168 hours, I know that I need to have 8 hours sleep. So 8 into 7, 56 hours is blocked already. And the remaining time I know there is it is almost 100 plus. So from that, yes, there are 5 days working, which is 50 hours. So you know it. There is a very little time left. So I have to basically see and make sure that I have a time for my family, for the social life, for my health, for my friends. Everything has to be managed with this very minor number of hours. So for that, what I do or what I'm trying to do nowadays is to make a weekly plan, not the daily plan. For me, I'm sure that as per the studies also, what I have understand, I mean, what I know is that The people who plan for a week are more successful rather than planning your day. Why? Because you know the calendar properly, and make sure that you have a calendar. You use an Apple calendar or a Google calendar or a Calendly calendar, and do share that with the colleagues and the people who are in association with you, so they know what time you're free. They know what time you're engaged. Everything is crystal clear. So that's one thing. And the second important thing I would like to add over here is, the concept of time management. Actually, it is something which is not possible. We are unable to manage the time. The only possibility for us is to manage the self. So I know that there is 24 hours and everybody is having the same time as shared by Sindhu in the talk. But I'm unable to stop it. I'm unable to make it fast. I'm unable to make it slow. Only thing what I can do, make sure is that I am managing myself to make sure that I'm utilizing it properly. And one of other tool which I'm using is, there are so many things in our life which we can do in 2 minutes or 5 minutes. It's a very simple thing, which was mentioned by the speaker earlier. So even that, actually postponing that, people are actually procrastinating that simple stuff. I think that has to be changed. Whoever is having a mind and energy to do the thing which requires only 1 minute, it may be a call, it may be a simple thing. So do that. If it takes 2 minutes or 5 minutes, just do that moment itself. So these are the couple of things which I can add to this discussion, and there are a lot of other things, but I would be more happy to listen from you guys. Thank you very much. Over to you.
Thank you, FR, for your wonderful points about time management. As I said, that we learn from each other. So, your whatever you said about time management, I think we are going to remember that. So, Sindhu, what are your views about what FR has just said? Would you like to give some inputs?
Yeah, I think I do resonate with whatever he said. The part where he said that we should be doing all the small tasks right now, whenever we can, whenever we should be doing it like urgently. Like if it takes less time to do it, it's better that you do it right now, like then and there itself. So yeah, there is this saying. It says that kal kare so. I am not aware of the Hindi doha by Kabir, but the meaning of it is that if you have to do something today, then do it now. If you have to do something tomorrow, then do it today. And whatever time you have, use it well, and then use the time well. So that's this doha by Kabir, like a small quote, I guess. So when he said that, that's what came into my mind. Yeah, it's true. Like, smaller tasks, do it then and there whenever you can. So about the weekly planning, thank you for sharing that. I till now have only been doing a daily planning of my day, because I guess I'm still a student, and it works for me. So I'll also try to make a weekly plan and see how effective it is for me. Thank you for sharing that. That's from my side.
Thank you, Sindhu. Thank you for your inputs. So we have with us now Gangalil. We have Tripti, Nabil, Mary, Semi, Abin, Rajesh, Alicia, Kumar. Would you like to give your inputs or ask a question with the speaker? And we would like to hear from you, because I know you must be managing your time very effectively. So raise up your hands and we'll include you in the audio room so that when we can hear your inputs as well. So you know, as we discuss about time management, so there is a person who says that there is an entrepreneur lying dormant in almost everyone. So yes, Kabir, what are your thoughts about time management? Because I know you've been delegating, you've been doing tasks via yourself and delegating to others and managing your work, your business. So how do you manage time? What are your views about time management, Kabir?
So my management, if you ask me, what do I do? The best thing I do is that I have kept a habit coach. So she takes care of my time. So it is one of the toughest thing anyone can do in their life. To tell it is very easy, but being practical is very tough. So my habit coach, what they do for me is that they make sure that I do my work. I have things scheduled so that I don't need to remember. I hope each task done is a decision to make, and once you have to set up task itself, it takes time. So this is one thing which I started doing lately, 3 months back, and it is giving me like good progress. So I just take they spend with me half an hour, and and it's also my startup who is working on that. So apart from that, what I do is that I write down my tasks for 20 minutes in the early morning, and where I was very happy to hear that Sindhu, you do it in the other way around, right? Can I know how you do that? Your task writing, I think you do in night.
Yes,
You
I
have
yeah,
attended the morning power morning session today.
yeah.
Can you tell
So
how was the experience?
so the experience was nice. So I do usually prioritize my tasks in the morning and like figure out what needs to be done first. So right now I'm actually managing the works of a GDSE club in my college. I'm also interning at a startup, and so I have those works, and I have my exams tomorrow, by the way. So I need to get those work also done. So these kind of stuff, what I did is today morning I wrote down all the stuff that I had to do, and I just decided that I needed 3 hours to complete my internship work. I needed 2 hours to complete one chapter. So for tomorrow I have 4 chapters, so 2 hours per chapter I might get it done. I decided that I was going to wake up early tomorrow, so then I could complete one chapter then. So that's the process that I did. uh, it was about how I managed my day.
So thanks, Sindhu. So and what I did, another thing what I did was that I wanted to do my tasks. So early morning, as a part of Chumawa, we have a lot of volunteers doing power mornings. So in power mornings, what we do is that we sit silent for 10 minutes. So that is 5 a.m. Dubai time, and 20 minutes we keep on writing the task what we have to do. So once we write, when you go for the next day, whatever is not done, I strike it off, I bring it forward. I mainly follow the Eat the Frog book's 21 principles. That's much more easier than Pomodoro for work performance. And all the scheduling work I'll give to my habit coach, so I'm very much easy free from that. So one thing is this session, and that session is almost free. Anyone can join. Most of I think lot of people here like Beatrice, Jasir, Sakshi, Amin, a lot of the people here can tell how even Rajesh, Abin, all have been doing that scheduling in the morning. So this is two things, Shabina. Sorry, I took it. And you can ask Beatrice and Sakshi and Jasir how they felt about the scheduling and how it is improving them in that time. Shabina, back to you.
Yes, Kabir. Yes, Kabir. I think you've been managing your time very effectively. That is, you are managing it with smart time management. That is, scheduling, making time, allotting time, rationing time, and taking time. That is wonderful to hear about time management from all the entrepreneurs, come engineers over here. We have Prasita who's joined us. Prasita, I welcome you, and we will include you in the audio room. So we would like to hear your inputs as well, Prasita. So Jasir, we are not used to seeing you on mute. So we would like to
Right.
hear from you your viewpoints about time.
Thank you, thank you. It was nice, listening to all of you. Different ways of managing times. A lot of inputs there. Um, so the one thing that I think I should share is like there are a lot of techniques and a lot of literature on time management, starting from GTD, what you call the getting things done by David Allen, or Eat the Frog, Seven Habits that you mentioned, or First Things First by also by Stephen. And many others, like how on touching time management as well as habit building, like deep work, and the atomic habits, and many other books, a lot of theories, a lot of this. But the one thing I think is most important is getting it done, and getting up and starting, and that is where what I think I resonate with Faisal. What Faisal said is that, like, you need to manage yourself, and I think that's the key to everything. And I think and I also thank Kevi for starting the morning routine sessions. It's been really wonderful, to have that. It helped me from being a night person to a morning person. That automatically gave me the and a lot of energy to go about the day. And task schedule in the morning, definitely, and it's something that I've been doing, but not consistently. But after this morning routine started, with the 10 minutes of relaxation and followed by task setting, we're actually building that as a habit. And to actually do that every day consistently, now for more than I think 20-25 days, I think it's developed into a habit for me. And it's something that like starting to happen. Like we get up, it's I'm joining from India, so it's 6:30 for me. So it's like 6:30 is like my scheduling time. So it's really helped get the things written down and prioritized, and getting that getting the flow becomes so much easier with that. And I know, like Beatrice and Sakshi have been joining us on the morning. What are your inputs on that? How do you feel after attending the morning sessions? I think, Beatrice, it's still it might be an evening session for you, right?
Yes, it is an evening session, but I still, nonetheless, love it, and it's been so very helpful. I'm sorry, my dog in the background, but it's a journey, and in it, I did discover how I look at prioritizing is important. So I look at it, I said before, as a form of self-love. And I had to ask questions like, how do I perceive myself? And what exactly do I want to and need to do? And so when we have that list, we get it all in and prioritized, it lays up the framework, and it makes it so much easier to reflect and realign your priorities, and stay true to yourself. So my biggest thing was distractions, and I'm dealing with that, and being in the way of my own way. And so I had to set boundaries. I mean, with friends, with family, and know when to say yes and know when to say no, and actually be at peace with it. So just very helpful in helping me to believe in myself and stay true, and align my decisions with my goals. So very, very good activities. Thank you.
Thank you, Detris, for your inputs, and thank you, Javed, for Jasir, for your inputs as well about the Power Mornings. So we have Alicia, who's also a part of Power Mornings. And what are your views, Alicia?
Hi, everyone. Thank you for making the space for me to speak. I think all of the recommendations and the thoughts have been super helpful, and I think I value, like you said, the mind sharing and just learning from one another. I used to write down my list at the end of the workday. So I work 9 to 5, if you will. So regular, corporate America job. And since I've been doing the power mornings, it's power night for me. And I've actually been using that time to write down my list, which includes everything from my day. So I've been using it as like a mindfulness practice, if you will. And I find that is so much more helpful because I'm one of those people who have a million and one thoughts that go through my head. Oh, I forgot to do this. I forgot to do that before I go to bed. So now I'm able to write it down and I get rid of it, if that makes sense. So that has been a really great change for me. But I also do other things like I've also done my list in the morning, like I filter it and I prioritize it, but I'm actually being more intentional on how I manage my list. So I do apply the 4Ds. I do look at the delegating and do I have to do this task? Which has been more applicable since I've been doing the night, writing down my list at night now, because now I see things on there like I've been thinking about that, but I don't need to do that. So I can delete that, and that's been really helpful. So I just want to share that I think just kind of modifying sometimes a few things that you already have in your practice can actually make you more, more powerful, more effective. Thank you for allowing me to share.
Thank you, Alicia. Now we have a parting message from Sakshi. What are your views about powerful mornings? Because you've been attending those sessions, Sakshi.
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Shamina. So basically, when Kabir told me about that, it's gonna be a power morning, and I am a night owl, so I'm not at all a morning person. So it was like a little to me getting out of my discomfort zone. But when I actually started attending Kabir's power morning session, it feels to me like sometimes you feel like an achievement in small things when you get out of your comfort zone. So it is something which I really started enjoying. And there's also one thing which I noticed was by the time my parents or my siblings get up, by the time I feel a lot of my daily routine activities are already being done because I woke up so early and they are just sleeping. So I feel that is one benefit I got and I felt after this attending these power sessions with Kabir.
Thank you, Sakshi, for your inputs. Now, as this session is about time management and we are managing time effectively, so over to you, Amin. We would like to hear your inputs as well before we wind up the session.
Yeah, hi all. I'm Amin, founder of No Time. Basically, I'm not good at managing time. In this time as well, I am kind of busy with the input that I can give in the time management. You can arrange your environment in that way that you will be doing the work that you have to do. As Kabir is good at making his environment for him to do everything, he's having a habit coach, right? That's a good method if you can't control your time. If you are having so many thoughts in your mind, as an entrepreneur, you will be getting so many issues. It can't be controlled. So if you want to do something, you have to be changing your environment in the way that they will be pushing you to do the works. For example, I am not at all a morning person. For the past 2 weeks, I've been a morning person because of Kabir. He's telling me to do something that's helping me to as an entrepreneur and also for my startup as well. So for 5 p.m. waking up, it's not at all easy. But we have prayers. If I am being the past person, I'll be doing my prayers and I'm going to sleep. After this section, morning section, I will be and I have been a productive person for the past 2.5 weeks. Those who didn't attend, those who want to attend, please do attend the section. It's a great section. If you are doing a magical thing you are thinking, but if you do the simple things, it will be a magical. That's what I have to say. And I'm also saying I'm not that much experience in the managing time.
Thank you,
That's
Amin. And now uh, we are actually going be on time, but we need to manage time. So I hand over this power packed session to Kabir. So over to you, Kabir.
Thank you, Shabina. And before ending, I would like to hear one parting thought from Sindhu.
Yeah,
Sin-
so my thought would be that be kind to yourself, accept whatever you're doing. There's no point in regretting about the time that you might have wasted. Even if you regret about it, you worry about it, you can't get that time back. The thing that's important is seeing what you can do with the time that you have in the future. So planning ahead, doing the things that you can do with the time that you have. And there's this saying that goes, just because it could have been different doesn't mean it could have been better. So maybe it was supposed to be the way that it is, and that the way that things have been is what's driving you to what's going to happen next. So being kind to yourself, accepting whatever's happening, and also do your part in doing fulfilling whatever task you need to be doing that day. So those were my thoughts. Thank you.
Thank you, Sindhu. Jasser, even time management, we are 1 minute late. I'm extending it to 2 more minutes. Jasser, your final thoughts? Okay. I think Jasser has told his thoughts. So thank you all. So, and I'm very happy that Sindhu took up the challenge. Just yesterday, this time, or 1 hour back yesterday, it's hardly 24 hours. I gave her a topic. I told, are you ready? And see the spirit. She has done a wonderful session today. Can I give her a round of applause, please? Like, thanks, Sindhu. And I'm sure you're going to reach more heights. And since you have started your first startup in your third year, the second year, that's a lot of courage. Same to you guys, Amin, and all the entrepreneurs, students out there who are being strong enough to start their startups. So, as I'm not having much time, let's wind up the session. But before going, I would like to tell the same words: dream big, aim high, start small. Start very small that you can focus, master, and build a discipline around it. And then you're going to be a high performance entrepreneur. With lots of love from this part of the world. Signing off. PC Kabir. In the count of three, you can tell bye bye. Three, two, one.